Welcome to Moonlight Madness, and today we're doing the signs of Earth, Sun, Moon and Rising. We're using the tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine and illustrations by Howard David Johnson. We're also going to use another deck of mine, which I no longer have because, I don't know, it got lost when I moved. And I'm going to use those as confirmation. And then I'm going to pull cards from The Light, Rebecca Campbell. It's called Work Your Light Oracle Cards by Rebecca Campbell, artwork by Danielle Knoll. Now, the first card I pulled, and this is Earth Sign, it's taken me a couple of days to get into the energy of Earth. I have to ground myself with foods that make me want to ground, like potatoes and carrots, in order to ground myself, in order to not be so flight risk. I'm a flight risk. I'm getting impressions like daily. I get daydreams, I have nightmares, I have downloads when I'm asleep. I actually get no freaking rest, and it pisses me off. I've asked them to just give me impressions from 9 to 5, but they still seem to want to give me more from the hours of, usually the witching hours, from 12 to 1. So I'm waking up at 12 and 1, and then I can't get back to sleep. Nothing I can do. The first card I pulled is Justice. Someone around you wants some type of justice, whether it be because they work in the justice system. It's a possibility. I'm just going to try and, wipe the lens because it's a bit smudgy. There we go. Yeah, so they could work in the justice system. They could be undercover cops. I'm getting undercover cop. If you're dealing with a Capricorn or an Earth sign, they're an undercover cop. They're trying to investigate some situations to get to the truth, which I understand completely. That's what I got straight off the bat. And the next card I got was Balance, because again, balance represents justice. It's the scales of justice, weighing up someone's heart before they cross over to the other side. Back in the Egyptian days, there was an evil little runt god that would swallow up the ones that were actually unworthy of crossing to the other side, like Don't Pay the Ferryman. It was an old song, actually back in the 70s, that if you were going to cross over, you would have to weigh your heart before you crossed over. In Egyptian laws, whether you were worthy to go to heaven. Possibly you have Libra strongly placed in your chart, Earth signs. You may have a Virgo placement, may have a Libran placement, but I'm getting that you're strongly trying to take everyone else's input into consideration, merge some viewpoints, and to create a better solution, and take your time. There's no need to rush. You may be dealing with a Libran right now. Librans are really difficult to deal with. They love to argue. They're great friends. They're good fun to hang out with, but generally speaking, they love to argue. Okay, in your past you had a King of Summer, a King of Cups. That would be Scorpio, Pisces or Cancer energy. This person is a romantic partner you can trust, excellent advice that comes from the heart, and getting involved in a cultural or creative endeavour. There may have been in your past relationship that maybe your baby daddy for some, and that person needs a smoky quartz because he's got Pisces energy. They tend to be very emotional. Next card I pulled, and so what I put on the Justice was the crystal of the amethyst, because the amethyst is for Aquarian energy, Libra energy, and Gemini energy. In the recent past, you have a Two of Spring, a bright future manifested, preparing with others who share your dreams, great progress being made. This is my gay card. So some of you that you dealt with in the past may have had was bisexual, and you didn't know about it because they never voiced it. And you know what? Sometimes people don't want to talk about their sexuality in case they scare off the other person. The next card I've got is Eight of Winter, which is scared to jump from that little iceberg to the other iceberg. See? This little iceberg? She's just got one little step, but she's too scared to do it, and she doesn't believe in herself. She thinks she's powerless when she's not. A lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. So don't let your fears, your mind, your mental health trap you into this constant flow of thinking that you're not good enough, you can't move forward, and I wouldn't make a good parent. That's not the case. You can and you will and you will. Next card I pulled is the Ace of Autumn. This is future. This is a significant payout of money. A windfall of money, advice or assistance from others, a very successful project, a happy change in your career. You might decide to go into a new type of job. Whether you go back and study next year and decide to go into law enforcement, as in criminal psychology or law, you will do really well at it because that's what your brain is geared to. You may have a boy brain. So what I put on top of that, because it's a financial windfall, is citrine. Citrine attracts money, energy, and people around you that you need in order to fund the study that you would like to do. So maybe you don't have the funds and you have to take a HECS debt. You may be in your late 40s and don't want to really enter into some sort of huge ass debt that you have to try and pay off before you retire. But trust me, you're going to do really well at it, and you may even go beyond the extension of when people are meant to retire at 70. You may decide to retire at 80. You just have this knack for reading a room, reading suspects, reading people generally, because you're a psychic medium like me. And so this is not going to feel like work. It's going to feel like just doing what you normally do. The next card I've got is that where you currently live or work is a Ten of Cups. It feels like a family. It feels like you're fulfilling your destiny with a family, raising children wisely, people you can trust. The people that surround you are like family, and you can go and talk to them when it comes to things and matters of the heart, because possibly you couldn't be yourself in the last job you're in. But in this job, you can be you. Now, I pulled 3 crystals and I got all of them from Rainbow Runner in Hamilton with Adrian, who's my good friend, and he's my counsellor when I have a psychic vision. I've got no one else to go to. I go to Adrian. And he recommended me lapis lazuli. I have Egyptian past life, so that's a really good crystal to have around you to increase your intuition. And I'm also a descendant from Cleopatra. Yeah, in a past life, I was Cleopatra, pretty much. I was addressing a room of people in a pyramid. That was my last past life regression. So I know I'm actually Cleopatra. She died at 39, by the way. She had twins, and then she got killed by an asp, and they hid them away. And I was plagued with losing twins. So I fulfilled her role by having, well, I lost the twins, but I had 2 kids in quick succession between 25 and 28 that were like Irish twins. So I actually did carry out what she really wanted to do, was have children and procreate and carry out her life. And maybe those twins got taken away from her because she killed herself. But in this life, I survived. And she would survive too. We've got here rose quartz, and the rose quartz is love. So it's amplified by selenite. Selenite amplifies rose quartz and amplifies lapis lazuli from Egypt. So you may have a new love, an Ace of Cups. Open your heart to love, the beginning of a new relationship, the rebirth of a current one, or the awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual epiphanies. You may have gone up another octave. I had my first awakening in 2018 when I saw COVID. And I'm not talking the original COVID. I'm talking the COVID that happened back when there was a civil war between Philippines and I think it was America. I was getting that vision, and then I got a second vision of Wuhan, where they discovered that the virus was existing outside of the lab and they had to shoot everyone. I got a second vision of that. And that's when my family took me to the mental ward because they thought I was crazy. And then we had COVID. So, yeah, my family let me down in a huge sense of the word and didn't believe a word I said, even though I was absolutely correct. And we did have COVID, and I did see the bodies. I did see all the body counts and the coffins, Black Lives Matters. My next door neighbour, when I was little living in Frith Street, across the road, Mr. Herrival, with his shoelaces untied, used to walk around the block every day because I was on medication that didn't agree with me and made me see dead people. So yeah, I can't do medication because it makes me see dead people. The next card I've pulled, so love is around you with an intuitive person just like you, is probably a fellow reader, a psychic medium, and he's younger than you. He's a Prince of Summer. He's romantic, he's captivating, he's dramatic, he's flirtatious. He's either a Scorpion, Cancer, or Pisces person. He is falling in love suddenly. He's going to sweep you off your feet. The need to stay grounded during a very emotional experience. He may be very flirtatious. He may not be able to keep his in his pocket, in his pants, if do you know what I mean. He loves to flirt, and it's just him. But you've got to understand you can't harm him because his heart is fragile. His heart is made of glass. Be careful how you treat him verbally, physically, mentally, and emotionally, because he'll come after you and try and hex you because he's so emotional. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He's very, very emotional. If he loves you, he'll read poetry to you. He's just so romantic, but he's also very flirtatious. The next card I've pulled is to reach out to others for assistance. Poor timing for a career change, feeling challenged by money issues. He could be part of a group of people that are religious, that are part of a religious group, and possibly that's why he can't see you as often as he would like. You can't converse outside of Facebook or outside of YouTube because he won't enter into a chat room, because he may be already married, or he may already have signed a non-disclosure agreement or an oath of silence because he's a religious priest, or he's married and he's a priest and he can't see you because he's already married and he happened to spy upon you on the internet and realised he fell in love with someone he can't have. It could be a little, Thornbirds type situation where she couldn't marry him because she was single white female and he was a priest. There's a little bit of that going on. So just be patient with him because he's not able to give you what you want straight away. He may have to adjust and make huge lifestyle choices in order to be with you, in order to not divorce the church, but divorce the person he's currently with, because he's currently with someone and he's married. This would be an extracurricular, this would be an affair. You would be the affair. He just wants to sleep with you at this present stage, and you need to understand where you are in the pecking order. He won't leave a marriage unless it's detrimental to his health. He may have children that he has to take care of. And so, or there could be a child in the way because we've got the Ace of Cups. That's a possibility as well. So don't jump in with head first or feet first until you find out his actual status. If you're posting things and you are single and you're posting things to help his channel, that's great. But make sure you're posting him and knowing that he's actually married. That's all I have for you today for Earth signs.